Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Amina here. Right, I haven't done any videos, especially on YouTube, for about a year and a half. So I'm assuming a lot of you won't even know who I am, what I do for a living, etc., etc. But to be honest, there is not gonna be that much information about myself because I don't do product launches and all of these things, online because I'm pretty busy with just running the businesses really behind the scene. And those of you who's on my list and have been for the past few years, you exactly know who I am, right? And I don't really do that many promotions and stuff anyway. So yeah, I've not been in touch for about 6, 7 months, and it's just I've just been doing a lot of things anyway. But recently, a few things came and noticed, right? And I've been getting some emails from my subscribers regarding traffic, like Facebook traffic, and specifically for Shopify or Amazon, whatever. To be honest, it doesn't really matter what you're promoting, to be honest, because at the end of the day, once you know how to get the traffic, I mean, product is just a product, right? Whether it's Shopify, Amazon, eBay, ClickBank, it doesn't matter because you can phrase your targeting such a way so for a health product, it can get a health related traffic. Make money online is obviously I am niche traffic. So anyways, let's just not waste any much time, and let's just gonna jump in and try to give you some informations today, and hopefully that will help you to boost your business and give you a bit more idea on Facebook traffic. So before I get started, those of you who don't know me at all, and I've been online for a good few years now, right? And just to show you a little bit of a proof. Look, number one, I don't like doing screenshot because my presentations, my free trainings, everything is screenshot free because for example, if you've been online for the last 3 years, amount of screenshot you're seeing is probably total up to $10 million probably, right? That's probably has because you've seen so many screenshots, but end of the day, how much have you made? That's the question, right? So don't look at these $1 million screenshots because end of the day, people say it's motivation, but trust me, it's not. It's just gonna frustrate you because when you start producing results, right, $50 a day, $100 a day, and if you look at $1 million screenshots, it's just you just rush in so much and you end up killing your own business. So start with your own pace. If you're gonna invest like 20, $30 per day on a campaign, looking at $1 million screenshots is not gonna help you because you're not up in that stage, right? You haven't picked up the pace yet. So just go with the flow, right? Build yourself up, and once you get to a certain point, when you can boost your business, that's when you start looking at the bigger pictures, right? So for now, start little as possible, work your way up. Let me just show you something quickly, right? So if you go into, I'm just showing you because proof as in proof in that sense, right? Like obviously my name is Amir, and if you go to Warrior Forum, like back in 2012, I've done one of the big product launches on Facebook ads. So Facebook ads is something I've been doing for a very long time. And obviously, as I said, that was the only product launch I did. That's because of my JV partners, and everyone was telling me to do something. So we decided to just go across and do a product. And and there, as you can see, I was a little boy back then. Now, I think what was it? 2012. Yeah, now it's 2017. So long time, long time. And I had tons of reviews, comments, and people like, Chad Hamza. If you don't know who Chad Hamza is a multiple seven-figure person. I mean, this guy is like the monster when it comes to paid traffic, media buy, banner ads, all sort of things, right? And he's been one of my mentors as well. And let me just show you one thing, couple of reviews. Hold on one sec. Look, even the people who purchased it said, I mean, if this is coming from Chad Hamza, right? Chad H. So Chad is not just gonna come in and leave a review for the people that he doesn't even know, right? So I knew what I was talking about. But in this video, right, let's just cut off all this crap, right? Let's just get on with the proper meat and with the meat and potato, right, of this whole training. Number one, let me just make things clear. Right now, I'm at my parents' house. I'm gonna be here for the next couple of days, so I decided to jump on my old computer and grab my old, microphone set. So the volume could be a bit of an issue. I'm not sure because I haven't recorded videos in a very long time. To be honest, it's been about a year and a half. I've done any videos on YouTube or anywhere else. So excuse me if the volume is too low or if I'm rambling because I haven't done this sort of training, neither I do any webinars and stuff. So I'm pretty much, like get my stuff done without videos and or anything else because I'm just a marketer doing my marketing really and looking after my consultant clients and stuff. So let's get started. So number one, pay attention to this training and don't underestimate this because I'm giving it away for free. Like some of my product, as I said on even Warrior Forum, I've done it for free trainings and people made a heck of a lot of money because I like to give value, right? Because I'm making my money anyway, so why not help people out? But there's one thing I want to show you. Like I still do like some sort of side promotions for like little businesses. This was one of the businesses I helped. This is one of my clients. He actually put in about $6,000 in total. He was a total newbie, had no idea what was going on, how to make money. So I told him, look, I'm gonna get started. Just join behind me. Just follow what I do, and trust me, you'll make money. So he put in 7,000, right? I showed him how to get traffic, how to build a list, how to build referrals. So he built himself 64 referrals and got himself over $8,000 in commission. But in total money, he made over $37,000 in 1 year. So he made a chunk of money. That was one of the screenshots, but he made way more afterwards. And as of me, I've done all the way up to 10K a month with this business. So this is just something I'm telling you because when I show you stuff, learn, soak it in, and put it to action, right? It will work out. So this is not a PowerPoint presentation, by the way. This is just for my own reference. I just need to know what I'm talking about. So we'll just get started, right? So, okay, welcome to the whole video. So I've done the introduction. Let's get started with the whole thing. So how to master Facebook ads, right? So number one problem I've seen like with people when it comes to Facebook ads, they are already confused. Like with me, I like taking bits by bit. I like to split everything into little portions, right? So it's easier to understand and digest. Because if you want to learn everything in one go, you're just gonna mess it all up, and you ain't gonna get nowhere with this whole internet marketing thing, right? So let's keep it as simple as possible. I'm going to do some more videos anyway. So this is where we're gonna split this whole training into a few videos so things are a bit more clear. This is gonna be more like an overview, right? But still going to cover a lot of information. So types of ads, that's one confusion for a lot of people. Daily budget workout. Has been a major problem because I've seen a lot of courses, right? Even up to like $2,500 courses, and people are not talking about this, right? I don't know why they're leaving out this whole thing because this is like the baby step you gotta take, right? This is the first footstep you need to understand before you even can jump into um, doing anything else, right? Like product testing budget, that is one whole, what should I say, a phrase itself. You need to understand this before you can invest any money into paid advertising. Otherwise, you don't know what, how much are you going to spend or how much you should spend, etc. Because there's been a lot of buzz about, oh, you know, spending $5 a day, etc. on a campaign. But for how long? But how many campaigns are we talking about? How many products are we talking about? See, there's so much to it. So we will cover all of that today anyway. Now let's talk about some kind of advertising, right? The types of ads. So most popular ones are, yes, as I was saying, there's three different types are very popular at the moment, right? So you got PPE, which is more to do with engagement, right? We don't focus on sales. This is not for sales. Yes, you will get sales, right? But this is not targeted towards the sale. This is more like, what should I say? For example, a lot of people that launch products and they do survey, right? Like normal surveys and stuff. So just to gain interest, just to get a bit of a feedback from the general public and see what's the responses like. If it's good, then they'll go out and do a big, right? So you can treat it like that pretty much, but it does bring in sales, which is good. Then you go web click, and which is like the content version as well. But to be honest, for me, web clicks is mainly for website clicks, which has a lot more content, right? Let me see if I can find something, and I'll show you. Let me just go into Google. let's say, oh, spelling mistakes. Okay. Um, hold on just a moment. I'm just trying to. If it's loading. Right. So this is a blog, right? It's more to do with the review of a product, right? Where you do a lot of content and you have videos and etc etc. Basically, end of the story, you are selling a product, but you want the viewers to read more about it, etc etc. Right? So this is the website click is pretty much my. I'm just saying it's not the only thing. People will say different things, but for me, content is what it's all about, right? So you're targeting content. You want people to come to your blog or any or an article that you want them to read. So at the end of the day, if you get a purchase, you get a purchase. So some websites not selling anything, it's more like information and etc. So you want to get as many clicks as possible to the actual page or the blog or articles, YouTube videos, whatever really. So it's totally up to you. But I would specifically say content web to click is for that sort of traffic, right? Then it's number three is the purchase, right? Which is a very it is a complex situation when we talk about purchase because there's been a lot of different information regarding purchase, right? But end of the day, right? End of the day, if you are on a Shopify platform, right, what is your final goal? Is to sell a product, right? Sell a product. A lot of people say start with the PPE, then go to web click, right? And which will bring in add to cart because people will go to add to cart and some people won't buy it. Then you obviously use your pixel to go from add to cart, then optimize it for purchase. I mean, end of the day, you are going to a purchase at the end. So why have all of these blocks in the first place? I'm not saying PPV is a bad thing, absolutely not. PPV is very, very powerful if you can use it properly. And I'm going to show you an example in a bit anyway with the PPE. But if you were talking about web click versus purchase, I would say go with the purchase straight away, right? Yes, your pixel needs to be old, it needs to have data, etc., etc. By using web clicks, right? Yes, it will get a bit more data, etc. But end of the day, you can do the same thing with the purchase. If you set your pixel from the start on a purchase, right? And if you're targeting audience, let me just use this for example, right? Oh God, this is my other one. Let me cut this out. Okay, just go in there. So start here. Let's say we're gonna do a brainstorm, right? On a let's say just on a purchase. So say our I'm sick of dog and cat and everything, all these examples people have. So let me just talk about motorcycle, for example. Motorcycle is our, let's say, target niche, or we got products about that, right? So we got this. Let's get this out of the way. Gosh, I haven't even used this thing in a long time. So our target audience, let's say, um, 1 million. So let's start with PPE and then go to purchase, right? So oh, let's go bring it up. Okay, hold on, what is going on? That's fine. I bring the tab. Hold on, let me just get some of these tabs up and I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Next tab, PPE, you get age, gender, then you go device. Oh, I don't need that one. gender, age, device, and I can say placement too. But this can come in a little bit later. I'll just leave it here, it's not moving around. Anyways, that should have gone to the right. No, let's say this is the motorcycle, for example. This is the niche we're talking about, right? Let's say we're using PPE at the moment, as we got it here, right? Let's say we done a. Let me just jump into my Facebook as well as I go along. Which account is? Okay, this account. I've got a nice little campaign which I can show you, which will give you a bit of an idea. This is, by the way, just a testing account anyway, so I need to pause the ad blocks. Okay, so which one? This one, yeah. As you can see here, right, I've spent $20 in total in that campaign, and you can see the click-through rate was 14, which is very, very good, and average CPM was $3.86. That is awesome because people get like $7, $8, and they say it's really, really good. But this is something to pay attention to. I got 782 clicks for $20, right? So, and my cost per click was 3 cents, right? So, when you do PPV like this, right, you will get sales. You will get sales, but I did not actually pay attention, or should I say, I did not target my campaign for sales, even though I was getting a bunch of sales. But that was my intention. I just wanted to gather some information, right? Let me go to Advertising Manager. It's going to be easier to show you around. Was it this one? Yep. Okay. So this is the actual campaign I ran. By the way, I had to kill the campaign due to I had my vendor tend to run out of the product. He has some issues and whatever, which happens with AliExpress, and there is not much you can do with the actual product. But I'll tell you something else in a minute. So this is the actual ad, right? Very, very, very simple. As you can see, love your garden. That was a title of the actual ad. Graphic. Grab this amazing flower basket today. Click here. Da, 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 da. Then you go the whole ad there, right? That domain I've taken off anyway, so it's not going to work. And you can see relevancy was 10, and it was all about the targeting. What it is, I'm going to do another video on showing the targeting. Don't worry, I'm not going to use dog or a cat as an example. That's what everybody does because there are millions of fans and it's easier to show. But I'm going to show you something interesting. We're going to pick a random product or a market and we will drill it down, and I'm going to show you some of the dirty secrets, dirty skills, and I will guarantee you, you will find results like this, right? You will spend 20 bucks and you should be able to get 700-800 clicks, my friend. You will. And that's upcoming videos, and we will get to that. But this video, I just want to show you about the PPV. So I've done $20 on this, right? Now, if I want to launch a campaign on purchase, for example, right? I don't have to start all over again. Why? Because if I go here, if I go to breakdown, right? If I click on age, look, you will see the age. I start from 18 all the way to 65, right? Who has been more consistent? Who has been more engaged with this ad? 55 to 64, obviously the reach was good and everything, right? Which was the highest result. 45 to 54, and 18 to 44 wasn't all good anyway. So pretty much I spent $1.06, got that much engagement, reach, whatever you want to call it, and to be honest, it wasn't worth the time. So I got the information. So when I go for my purchase campaign, right? Remember, I target from 45 to 64 or 65 plus. Which, what does it do? That already has cut down the work. I already know what age is converting or engaging, who is worth targeting more, who are interested, right? That's fact number one. Fact number two, the gender. Male, female. Look at that. female is dominating the most. There were most of the engaged audience ahead versus male or female. So for the purchase, target female makes that's number two, right? If I go to platform and devices, right? I don't need that. But devices, well, as you can see, desktop only a little bit. iPhones 157. I spent $4.31. But if you look at Androids, right, 473, and it was $12.54. 48 on a tablet as well. So you know what device to go for if you want, or you can leave it, start all over again on this whole device thing when it comes to retargeting on the actual campaign on the purchase. But if you really want to cut down your cost, you've done your PPE, you know who they are, you know what device they're using. Should be able to just cut down most of it. Now let's go to placement. Mobile versus desktop. Definitely mobile, as you can see, right? Without any question. So that's another information you got. And if you want, you can go through, like, a country was obviously US, but if you want to go to the region, look, this is like, excuse me, when it comes to scaling and going, taking things to the next level, this is what you can do. If you look at here, California has been pretty much the most engaged right here, right? So on the purchase, just target California if you want, or open another separate campaign, launch California, target them. You probably will have, in this case, you will have the most high CTR from California. That means your cost per click is gonna be cheap, and your purchase rate will be very, very high, right? So this is the whole point of doing PPV. For me, this is what it is. If you get sales, that's bonus. You're making your money back. But this is to do with the data most of the time. Collect your data, so go for the purchase. But remember, when you're selecting your purchase pixel on the actual campaign, as soon as you get, like, 20 30 sales, your pixel kind of becomes a bit more clever. It actually knows how to go around. So let me just give you an example how this whole pixel thing works, right? Because it is very, very interesting. Let me just cut this off. So let's start again, another one. Say, let's talk about iPhone 7, for example, right? And here's a 10 of us sitting around. I'll tell you exactly what I'm planning to do. 5, make purchase. Interests. And similar audience, right? So this is what the pixel is all about. So this is, for example, what pixel. This is where we have the pixel, right? Let me see if I can. Okay, not pixel, it's pixel. Sorry guys, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm just trying to do this thing quickly for you. So we have a pixel that is our salesman, right? So Pixel got an iPhone 7. So let's say our product is iPhone 7. We tell our Pixel to we want to sell iPhone 7, and we gave them the audience. So we gave them 10, say 10 million, 10,000, 100,000, whatever the audience is, right? But in this example, let's say we're sitting in a cafe and it's 10 of us sitting around in a table. So the Pixel comes to us and shows us this iPhone 7 is for sale, etc., that many price, whatever. And let's say 5 of us already actually made a purchase of the iPhone 7, and 5 of them did not bother. So the Pixel knows 5 of us made the purchase, and for the pixel to find more buyers, it's easier to just find out our background, our interests, and etc. So the pixel will research on us, right? And see what we like, what we don't like, where we make our purchase, when we do it, how much we spend, etc., etc. And it will go out and find similar people who relate to us pretty much. But remember, always we are using Facebook platform, right? So whenever you open an account on a Facebook, you put in a lot of information, right? Your education background, who you working for, or your favorite movie, favorite song, etc. Plus you like pages, brand products, like liking the page, joining groups and etc. Facebook is damn clever, right? It collects all the information. So for example, those us five of us who made the purchase, in our profile, or we must have liked, some kind of iPhone products or Apple product, whatever that is, etc., etc. We can probably be around other interests. So Pixel will pick up this information, which is in our profiles, right, in total, and it will try to match with other audiences and to find similarities between myself and others. So if I made a purchase on an iPhone 5 and if somebody else has a pretty similar interest, which I have, so it's a very good chance that that person will make a purchase too. So it is wise for Facebook to show the ad to that specific person and ignore the other five. Remember, it was 10 of us sitting in a table, five of them did not bother buying. So it will try to ignore those five people plus that similar people in the whole entire Facebook too. So that's how the pixel works. It gets clever when it makes sales. And for you to give the pixel a head start, right? If you want to do a PPE ad, get all the information, the age, the placement, the gender, everything else, give that a boost right from the start. Give the pixel 3-4 times in 3-4 days time to actually go out and gather information. When I say gather information, end of the day, Facebook is massive. There's so many audience. If you're targeting 100,000 people, don't expect to, you know, get seen by 100,000 people overnight unless you have like $10,000 budget for the night trying to cover the whole Facebook. If you're gonna play around with the $5 a day, you gotta be patient. You gotta give Facebook the time to go out, show people your advertising, and let the pixel pick up who's clicking on your ad, who's actually going to your website, who's actually doing the add to cart, and who's making a purchase. So from there, it will pick up the information and it will ignore the people who are just reading around, not buying anything, and it will concentrate on the buyers itself most of the time. That's what you want to do with a pixel, right? And what else? Sorry, there was something else I wanted to talk about. See, I haven't written everything down. Okay, okay, okay. Back to the presentation. I totally forgot about that. No. Let's talk about budget. $5 a day campaign. So this is something very, very important too. Let me just go back to this. Where is it gone? This one. Right. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. I used to use it a lot, believe it or not, but recently it's been 2 years I haven't used it. So $5 per campaign. So let me just sort this out once and for all. There's so many confusion on this. It's just absolute madness. So if I can, let's say +3, there we go. It looks better. Okay, $5 campaign. Okay, and let's say, let me just think. Let me just write a few things down, and I'll explain in a minute what I mean by this. Campaign can have one product. Now, a lot of you will disagree, but to be honest, I don't care. I'm just gonna tell you what has worked for me and what may will work for you too. Okay, say we have a product, whatever that is. I don't know. It's your product. So you want to have a $5 per day campaign, right? So let's go into the ad manager, for example. Basically, what I do in some of my accounts, like these little ones, actually launch little campaigns and I test, right, for like 20, $30. Then I actually take it to my other big accounts, and it may sound very strange, but end of the day, Facebook, it can be really funny. Some of the products and stuff they don't like, they can just ban your account. So if they ban my small accounts like this, it won't really hurt me at all. So I'd rather not just use my main accounts, because where this is where we're spending like $120, and it's not all about Shopify. I actually have like traffic generation campaigns going on and some other stuff for like clients and stuff, so I don't want to mess around really. So testing with the small accounts is good, then obviously I can change around. But some people will complain like, oh, what's going on with your pixel, etc. But to be honest, that's my side of the story, because I know what I'm doing. But I'm not telling you to do that, because most of you are gonna have a one Facebook account. So don't worry, concentrate. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Just go. I show you. Just go and get things done, right? So let's go into the actual campaign once again, and where is it, this one? Let me. I know I've deleted some of the campaigns before. Oh my days. Hopefully I haven't. Maybe this one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me just show you. Let me just show you now. I got it. Sorry, in the Power Editor you can't really show the images and everything else. So let's just go to Traffic Winchim. I think that's another one. No, this is just one. Yep, as you can see. Okay, let's go back. So this is a campaign, right? And daily budget was $5 a day. This is just to show you an example. So inside of a $5 campaign, which is one, you can have a couple of different ads, right, in an ad set. So this is still running for $5 a day, right? But you are just testing. So what you can do, right, as you can see, you can have a multiple ads inside your $5 day campaign. One campaign, you can have one product, but you can test multiple different ads, right? As you can see here, if I click on this, right, it's loading. This is one ad itself, right? You just pay attention to the ad copy and the photo here. Now if I go back, click on the second one, ad copy is same, but it's a totally different image. It's just a different flowers. So what I'm doing is I'm split testing two different ad. What is more engaging, what people like, just to get more clicks. More clicks you get, the cheaper the cost per click becomes, right? More traffic you get to your website, more sales you're gonna make. Very, very simple process, right? And as you can see, um, obviously inside the $5 a day campaign, like this one's got 193 reach and it's got 7 link clicks, and this one had 8 link clicks. So this one is winning over this. So this is just something I was about to test, but that's when the whole campaign died. Remember I said earlier on, my vendor had a problem, so I had to stop all these campaigns. But obviously this is I was split testing certain things. But if we go to $5 a campaign, you can have six different ads if you want. Six ads in a campaign. So you can have, let's break this down. Three three different image. Actually, my bad. Three different image, right? That's that's two ads, right? So if you have two different ads, three different image on a two different ads, what am I talking about? Sorry. I'm just getting confused. No, that's fine. Hold on, this is not even responding for a second. I meant to say, okay, so you got 6 ads in total, right? 6 ads in total. So you can have images. I meant to say 3 in there, right? 3 images you can test, right? And you can test a 3 different copy, or you can have 6 different images for a specific product, and you can have a 6 different ad copy. But sometimes it's not a very good idea to have 6 different ads with 6 different ad copies. Sometimes you just want to test like 2 ad copies, right? You can, if you want, you can test like 6 ads, or you can have 2 ad copies, but you can have 3 different images, right? Which splits into 2 sets, if that makes sense. So you have a 3 different image. I should have said, let me just say 6 images here, for example, right? Or you can have six. I don't know, why am I confusing myself? I don't know. Is it a bit too late? Let me try again. So first we have 3 different ad copy. For example, let me just say, for say love cycling, for example. I don't know. I just lost myself for a bit. I'm just saying cycling, for example, right? That's one ad title, right? We can have 3 different images on that title, right? And next thing we have cycle, right? So 3 images, or right, 3 images, 3 different ad copies, which is this. This is the ad copy. You can have 3 times of these, the 3 different image. That's 3 ads, right? Then you can have another head title. You can have 3 different image on that, and 3 different title. I mean, copy. I think I'm rambling a bit too much here. I should do this training a bit more. I think video trainings. So 2 ad copies here, for example, right? You can have a 3 ad copy if you want. As I said, it's not a problem. So for now, we have 2 ad copy, right? I'm taking this out so it will be much easier. So let's say 3 different image. So we have a 3 image, right? With this ad copy. Then we can have the same 3 image again with this ad copy. So that makes 6 ads in total in a campaign. So you can see which ad copy and the image is getting the most clicks, and the ones are not getting the clicks, you can cut them. You can kill them after 24 hours, 44, 48 hours, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Well, it does matter, but after 24 hours, you will know exactly, if some of your ads are not getting the impressions, because obviously they're not getting the clicks. People don't like them, right? So you just want to cut them down and run the ones which is getting the clicks. That is starting very small. That's a small budget campaign starting. The next day, you will do the same. You will let it run for another 24 hours until you hit that $5. You will see which ads getting more clicks. Keep that, kill the others. But if you want, you can carry on, right? So when you kill an ad, you can upload a new one. For example, say this ad copy is wicked, is getting a lot of clicks and etc. and images, whatever. If you want, you can bring in another new image, something fresh, a little different. Use the ad copy and see what it likes. See if it's good, right? So let's say you killed 2 ads last night. Today, what you want to do, you want to bring in another 2 fresh ads and keep split testing until a point you get in a lot of clicks. So when you get in a lot more clicks, automatically you're gonna start bringing in sales, and the more clicks and more sales you're getting, your pixels getting way more intelligent, and it's gonna do the rest of the work for you. Now, as I've confused myself with this, trying to explain this whole thing, right? Let's talk about budget. So I'm assuming this is a bit more clear how many ads you can have and how many images and ad copy, whatever. right? So $5 campaign. So if you want, you can have a $5 campaign following this on a purchase or a PPE. It doesn't matter. PPE, you can still follow the same strategy, right? Which is good. More varieties you have, more chance of getting a lot of clicks. That's what we want. A lot of people say, "Oh, I've got one ad. I'm not getting any clicks, etc." Because you have one ad, right? Because some people will show you, like for example, if I show you my PPE campaign, the one with the where's it gone? There they are, right? Yes, I have one ad, and that was crushing it. So if you had three, four ads, right? Doesn't mean all of them is gonna get a lot more clicks. Some of them will get a lot more clicks, and that's the one's gonna bring in a lot more leads and sales. Plus, that one's gonna be the cheapest around because it's getting a relevancy score of 10 and it's getting a lot more clicks, and clicks becomes cheap anyway. So this is something you really want to focus on from the start. And on this, run at $5 on a PPE, get your data, or at the same time. Right, so sorry, I had to pause that video. Let's just crack on again with the whole thing. Now let me explain how much to spend in a campaign. Some people say just spend $100. Some people will say just spend $200 and you'll be fine. Look, not everybody's got the budget. And if you want to test it on a small budget, this is the easiest way you can work things out, right? So let's say we got a product cost, for example, 20 bucks. This is the product which costs 20 bucks, right? So the campaign budget you can have 1 times the cost and the next thing you can have is price profit. Another one you can have 2 times the cost. If you follow this, things gonna be way more easier. This is how simple it is. So if we have a product which is costing us $20 to purchase, right? You can actually go out and test $20 of the actual product, but this is not really a good idea um, when it comes to pixel purchase, because it needs a lot more data. So $20, $5 a day, that's 4 days of data, and to be honest, it doesn't really always work as well as you think. But feel free to give it a shot because most of the time, within the 4 days, you will start getting. If you have, for example, say only $200 of budget, you can have a campaign like this for $20 on top of your head, and you can launch, for example, let's say 3 campaigns, right? So 3 campaigns, 20 bucks in total. You want to test. So first day you are spending $5 each. So 3 campaigns times 5, that's 15 bucks a day. The next day you're spending another 15, the next day another 15, so that's $45, and so on and on. So by the time you get to $20, you can actually sit down and have a little judgment and see, okay, how many clicks have I got and how many sales have I got. If you haven't got any sales, you can just cut it down and gone. Or if you're selling the product for $40, buying it for 20, you can actually test the product price at 40, right? So you can spend $40 until you make a sale. So as soon as you make a sale, you already made the money, $40, which is obviously not the full of profit because you spent $40, but you already made a sale. That's proven to work for you, right? So it totally depends on the budget, but this is the formula you can always try. So if the product is cost $15, try it for $15 or twice as much, which is $30, right? Or the including the profit, whatever the cost is, that could be your one-time cost, $27, for example, right? Including the profit. You can just try it that way as well. Or as I said, if the product costing $15, twice as much, $30. $30 split by 5 days, $5 a day. That's 6 days. That should be enough to get you some data to see exactly what's going on. And if you want to optimize, like break it down after second day or third day, you should be able to get some information, right? Like age, data, devices, what I showed you earlier on. Just go through them and just optimize the campaign. Like, or you can relaunch the campaign with the exact information you have onto a purchase or whatever. So if you spend $20 on a PPE, make sure you spend like another 20 or $30 on a purchase itself. So give it a bit more boost and get going from there. So as I said, my friend, this is just more like an overview video. I just want to cover a little bit more, and plus I'm just trying to get used to with this whole video thing because I haven't done it in such a long time. But obviously, from the next videos, I'll know exactly how to use this whole whole thing. And believe me, when I show you the whole Facebook thing, right, how to actually target, find audience, we're gonna find products, right? Oh yeah, before I forget, I wanted to show you something. Hold on. Let me just show you. You'll be amazed if I can find it actually. Um, I actually forgot what I. If you give me a moment, let me find it. Yep, found it. See the product? That's the exact product I was selling, right? So if I go to, as you can see, the e-packet, 198. So it was costing me about $4.46. That's including the delivery, right? And I was selling it for I think like $17 something in total. So I was making about 12, $13 in profit. And from the 800 clicks almost, I've actually got some decent amount of sales. And as you can see, even 10 hours ago, I'm still getting a lot of likes and stuff, people coming into my page and whatnot. But unfortunately, I don't want to run this anymore because the old seller actually kind of, he just killed my momentum because the product ran out and etc. And I just didn't like it. So let me just show you the actual post. I think this was the post. Was it this? Yeah, it was that post, right? It had about 66 shares. That's just free traffic coming in, comments, and it had about 7,000 people reach as well, and 631 likes. That's only for $20, my friend, right? So PPE can be very powerful, but end of the day, it's all about targeting, how you go around and target. And on the upcoming videos, I'm gonna show you how things are done. So right now, what you can do, there is a link below. Right, click on the link, subscribe to my list, right? Don't worry, you're not gonna get any product promotions and etc. None of that things because when I'm doing my free trainings, you will get an email straight into your inbox. I'm gonna tell you that I've released a new video. If I don't do it on YouTube, I'm gonna do it on. I think I've just. This is a brand new site I'm building right now, right? I'm gonna put like Facebook trainings and stuff. So I've got a couple of more different websites anyway. So for my subscribers, you already know because they get my emails and they know where to go and watch my videos, video trainings. And I've already got some other trainings like solo ads, how to build a list, and etc., which I'm gonna put it up as well. So you should be able to benefit from them. So if you just subscribe, and you will get like emails very soon regarding when the next video is coming out. And I always give out a lot of content to my subscribers only, and I don't really get to put them up on YouTube or anything really because I don't. It's not like me about the time. It's just I just like to look after the inner side people, right? It's not always about paying. They're on my list. They're not paying anything anyway. So, but still, it's nice to just look after the people because they look after you too, right? So, just subscribe to my list, and hopefully we will chat in the next few days with some awesome contents coming up, right? So, once again, thank you very much. It's Aminu Rahman, and if you want to connect with me, just go onto my Facebook, right? Like facebook.com, then slash Aminu Rahman online. this here, go onto my Facebook, send a friend request, and I'm gonna be opening up another Facebook mastermind group as well. So no product promotions. It's just gonna be straight where we can talk about trainings, and if you need something, some kind of questions you have, I might be able to share, and or even do like videos and stuff, right? And if you got results, you can post it there, and it's gonna be a nice little thing. We're gonna basically create a community and go from there, right? So once again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and I shall speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.